back. We dive right back into it. So, welcome back to the Tribal Future podcast. This is part two with Dipika Vijay because part one was too short. If you didn't watch part one, you should watch it because we talk about cultural appropriation, we talk about culture, about tattoos, about where she came from. And this is the continuation. Welcome back, Deepika.
Thank you,
Yes.
Adriatica. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So in the last part, we kind of really hit, I think that you hit the nail on its head about what culture means and where tribal fusion comes from and took the inspiration from. Today I want to continue this talking a little bit about what dance about the body, like about your personal experience, like what has dance taught you about the body, mind, consciousness, and life? Simple
It is
question.
true. In any art form, yes, yes. Simple question, yes, of course. It is a like any art form, art forms have a beautiful way of changing you. You don't just practice art, you're perceiving life and putting your own filter and then bringing it out as
Mm.
as an art, so for people to see and people to understand your perspective, things that are important to you. So in that way, my dance is a rebellion of sorts. I'm a feminist, so I believe in equality more than
Yeah, but that's what
being a
feminism
feminist or
is
anything else.
about.
I just believe in, yeah.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
just, it was my rebellion to let me be in my body.
Mm.
I want to do whatever I want to do, and nobody gets to say absolutely anything. So my body, my choice. I will wear what I want. I will,
Yeah.
I will do what I want. So it started as a rebellion, as a young, fresh blood, angry. I was constantly, mad at men who made mean comments and people who meet you outside and say, "Oh, you're a belly dance. Can you show?" I'm like,
Mm.
"Excuse me. If I was a Bharatanatyam or Indian classical dancer, would you say the same thing to me? Would you like to see
Hmm.
it still?" At a
Hmm.
party or at a get together or anything. So it started as a rebellion, but I understood very soon that this, my art was for me. It was, it is also, so I do not want to burn in anger and become the person trying to teach everyone. Though that happens in ways, some people take up that agency as well, and I took it up for very long, and it's exhausting to take up that mantle,
Hmm.
to just constantly say, okay, it's this, it's that, it's not this, it's about me and my art and things. And I'm like, I just want to make art. So first it was rebellion, and then it was resilience, it was strength. It was from a place of, I'm going to do my art. You're welcome to see it, not see it, do what you want, or walk away, whatever. So, resilience in terms of just being, and resilience in terms of showing up repeatedly as a practice, as a tapasya, as as a discipline.
Hmm.
That if you keep showing up again and again, things have a beautiful way of. When you get deeper into your art starts to reveal itself. So if you're mad, if you're upset, if you're angry, whatever feelings I had, I would bring them on the floor, and then they would all melt away. I would just leave, being empty and human and just ready for for the next thing, for next day, for life, for what we're here for, for receiving. So it was a way of experiencing feelings, uh, understanding them. So the process became part of a beautiful thing. My art helped me understand life better, and then I understood life better because of my art. So it was a very beautiful exchange in, so rebellion to resilience to discipline to understanding that body has extreme amount of intelligence, and movement is so healing.
Hmm.
Movement is beautifully healing. So it's a little personal, but when I had a personal tragedy in the family, I was moving still like a zombie, but I moved. And it helped me go through so much grief. I would be alone in the studio and still move. And that was not for a class, that was not for showing anyone, that was just me healing, handling the emotions in the best way I understood, you know?
Yeah.
So it has shown me beautiful things about dance. Is just whatever you want it to be. It'll meet you where you are in life. If you're on a high, it will lift you higher, show the energy. If you're if you're struggling to something, it'll help you pass through that. It won't find solutions for you, but it will make the process very handleable.
Mhm.
So I think that's what we're looking for, a little support, a little being held, that feeling of being held. So
Yeah.
art can become whatever you want it to be. It'll meet you where you are.
Yeah, like no, 100% I agree with that, with everything you said, but especially that your art, the deeper you get into it, the more you start seeing life through it, and it more that it helps you to express
Yes.
what's
Yes.
inside. That's what art's about. It's I think that you can only touch another person, and Leah said that to me one time, and I think that's so true for dance. You can only touch others if you can touch yourself, if you find that point inside of yourself
Beautiful.
what you want to show, if not, it's empty. But you said so many things again that I want to go in into, like,
Please
that
ask away.
that part where you say that, because that's also true for me, especially. I stepped away from dance the last 2 3 years, and I don't feel as good as I feel when I'm dancing. So it's part of it is
Mm.
therapeutic. We do it for ourselves, but also you
Yes.
can, that there are people when they do shimmies, they cry, and so it's a trauma.
Yes.
Trauma release can happen spontaneously during dance classes and dance sessions. And also the rebellion that you talked about, and the discipline, the how would you say is the figure in, as a woman? So you're an Indian woman and you do belly dance. So that means you're often with your belly out. You show maybe a little bit of your body than a regular Indian woman would do. How can you talk about that?
Um, See, earlier I was very, very conscious about it because I was navigating through a very difficult zone. It's not very okay for Indian women to dress how they want, work out. At least, 15, 20 years back when I began, I've been into this for 20 years now. So when I began, it was most definitely not okay. It's completely fine now. It's much better now. But at that point, it took me so many years to utter these words that I'm a tribal fusion style of belly dancer. It took me, I would say, yeah, I just do movement. I'm an artist. I do, I would just abstractly move around the subject when regular folks or family or extended, somebody stranger would ask me, I would never reveal, out of safety, out of security, out of being threatened, out of a lot of other feelings. But eventually I got over that. And it has been a very tough journey, and it has only made me stronger. It has made me so strong, and my ideas around it and perception and values are so strong. I can actually pass it along to my students that you decide for yourself, you navigate, take time, take your time. And in my classes I never tell my students, okay, it's belly dance, please lift your tops, I want to see your belly, I want to see what you're doing. I never see that. They lift their tops if they want to, whenever they want to. And when women become comfortable in their bodies and they can see themselves, there is a magical spark in their eyes while admiring themselves in the mirror.
That's true.
Only belly dance teachers know this. Only. It's the biggest gift. Nobody sees it, nobody perceives it. It's just
Hmm.
for your soul. Nobody gets to know this. It's just for you. So these hard-earned lessons and things about the body, about the spirituality, or about that, these smaller gifts. We are in service. We're in the business of service. We're
Hmm.
helping people fall in love with their bodies, and we're helping them heal and get through so many difficult things. And when they come and confide in you, tell the stories, tell the backgrounds, it's so beautiful what they are going through, and yet turning up on the floor and willing to be in their body and spend time time with themselves, so around women in safer communities. So it's extremely important. I think the body, it's a beautiful thing. It's truly healing in the mind, body, and the soul. And not just for the person practicing, also if you're in a group, the entire exchange and communication and this subtle pat on the back and comfort, just a silent hand of your friend, of your classmate, is so comforting, is so reassuring. You can walk out of the class a little taller. You know
Yeah.
that you have a bunch of women who are like-minded and who see you, who know that you're doing nothing wrong, and who know and support you, basically. So these are very, very powerful things that work in very deep ways. So healing is a very uh, incredible and magical byproduct of dance.
Yeah, totally. Totally. I totally agree. Um, um, okay, let's go to the want to ask you more, but then we have to do a third one.
Yes,
No,
please.
we're gonna do this one. Yeah, but definitely healing is a big part, I think, of female art, uh, and especially dance and especially belly dance. So, has your relationship to your body changed through dance?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I was not very comfortable in my skin because I was worried how others would see me, how there was a chance of me being threatened, me being approached in inappropriate ways. And I was worried about that social stigma around it. But
Mm.
there was this rebellion that just burst through me eventually. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to use adult words, but I was like, just fuck it. It's my, it's my body.
Yeah.
If I am not comfortable in myself, how am I going to do anything else outside? There's a reality within and there's a reality outside.
Hmm.
So, like you said a minute back, that you need to have touched inside, you need to have peace inside, comfort inside, and confidence inside to even be able to teach, to
Hmm.
show your art. Art is simply showing and pointing out things that are important to you, the way you see life, your perspective, your ideas. So
Hmm.
if there is murky feeling inside, a little less confidence, a little less, there's this shaky feeling, that is also going to be visible. And you don't want to pass that on to the people you're teaching, to the people, women you're in circuit with. So not just for them, I want it to be good to myself. I wanted to. So this art has truly helped me fall in love with my body. I think I can do incredible things with my body, uh,
You
and
do.
I'm very thankful. That's it. Thank you. I'm not sure everyone has to agree, but I feel that way in my heart and soul, and I'm very happy about that. So that's a
Yeah.
good point to reach in my
Yes,
eyes.
definitely. And I felt about that when I saw my teachers, and when I see women that dance the style until nowadays, I just think like goddess. I think goddess, and I think what we said in the last podcast is that sculptures that you saw on the wall, the goddesses, it's really an archetype of a woman that is comfortably in her body, comfortable with her sexuality, with her
Yes.
sensuality,
Sensuality.
but
Yes.
but still, respecting herself and thus respecting
Mhm.
others. So we we demand that next, if you're watching this, you landed here by accident or something, stop asking belly dancers to just belly dance in front of them, because I get these questions from women as well, and I'm like, no, this is not the space. There is a space and time for everything.
Yes, it's precious. If you're a lawyer, you don't say, okay, can you show me a few ropes? Can you fight a case? Can you file a litigation? Show me. You don't say things to bankers, and you don't say things to classical dancers even. You don't say to yogis that, show me your pose. You can't, you don't. Why would you do that to? It's a perception basically. And that's what we're trying to change and bring
Mhm.
about in open.
Yes, yes. Exactly. And the perception and the value also, which is another theme which I don't touch here, but
Mm,
the value, the perceived value on the market as
yes.
related to money and what they do with artists. Oh, can you just condense here? Can you just paint me here? You don't ask a baker if he can just give you some bread for free or if a bank can just lend you some money for free. So don't do that with artists. Thank you very much.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I always ask what's your do you have like a sacred body ritual that you would like to share?
Yes, 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 yes. Can I share a few
Yeah,
quickly?
sure. Sure.
I love making my own kohl, the whole ritual of making my own kohl, the kajal.
Oh my God, you do that
So
yourself?
yeah, I've been doing that for many years. So um, the whole process of making it for yourself, and I don't know, it's visible. It's just black. It's just black.
I know, no,
So
you always have an eyeliner and it's super strong and super dark and
yeah,
it stays for long, no?
it's it's
How do
kohl.
you
It's kohl. Yes,
it's a stone. No, what
it's
is
not
kohl?
that it stays for long. There's it's a gooey, super gooey, viscous thing, and you mix clarified butter and ghee in it. So if you put a little extra ghee in it, then it starts to melt. The hotter the climate, the more raccoon eyes you have. So if you're a little comfortable doing this once in a while, you go it. So women who make their own, lot of it's a very old ritual in India. Grandmothers make it for daughters and granddaughters, and in lots of and I've learned it since college, so I started making it and I was so thrilled. So I went on. That is one thing that I really, really love. And wearing jewelry.
Hmm.
I love drawing on the body also, but wearing jewelry, uh, you know, in my eyes, the term goddess is a little overused and very casually used, but the gravity of it, you know, it almost is as if you have your one foot is not in reality, it's in
Hmm.
another world. When you wear jewelry you get that kind of power and strength. You're not an ordinary being anymore. So when you wear that, you're elevated. So I love that I choose things very purposely with a lot of intention and strength. Even today when I was wearing things, I was thinking how I wanted to be with you, the things that I want to talk about, and energy based in my jewelry. I'm wearing a god also, a god's sculpted ring also. This, let me show it to you.
Who is that? Ah,
Ganesha, and
Ganesha.
the god of
Yes.
wisdom. Wisdom. So I was hoping to speak wisely today, so the message gets across clearly.
No,
And a lot of things.
yeah, you truly do. That's why we do it number two, because one wasn't enough.
Thank you, thank you. And one last thing I would like to begin. It's a 5,000-year-old Indian tradition, scenting the hair.
Mm.
And I would really like to begin as I have long hair. I think it's so beautiful. It's so, the whole day the hair smells fresh and good, and you actually scent it. You keep incense with Indian herbs and oils, and then you just let your hair hang around it and over it,
Mhm.
and it stays for 15 minutes. Then you do it in different directions, and by the end of it, your hair smells gorgeous for the day. So it's
Oh,
been there since kings and queens in our land, and I would really like to start. I've been thinking about it for years, but yes, I will. This is one
yeah.
that I want to start.
You will. I'm really interested in the coal. Do you sell that by any chance?
I don't sell it, but I can send you the recipe. It's super simple, and within a couple of takes, you will crack the combination for your body and yourself.
You think I
So
will find the things here to do it? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
everywhere. Super common.
Okay. Really excited to do that. I love coal as well, although I'm not using it, but I'm a makeup artist as well, even though I don't
Of
execute it
course.
anymore as often. And the coal, and that is like since the day of the Egyptians, which, like the ancient
Mm,
cultures, like Indian, Egyptian, Babylonian culture, you always see women wearing that, and they had actually
yes.
it had something to do with protecting the eyes back in the days.
Protecting from evil eye. It's protection from evil eye. When you put the kajal, you just don't put it for babies, for newlyweds, for younger girls. We also put a small dot behind the ear. That is to ward off evil eyes. new brides. And so if you see anyone going somewhere looking super pretty, the mom or the grandmom or a girlfriend is going to put a black dot behind the ear. It's
Amazing. Wow, thank you for sharing those. Those are really sacred and I think very,
pleasure.
very old rituals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Last time we talked about which traditions or cultures have influenced your work. I don't know if you want to add something, but I think it was pretty good in the not
Covered. Yes.
one. And we also talked about how you navigate inspiration and respect and cultural exchange. I think that was the main part of part one, which is a very important part. And now I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite artwork? Like it can be inside or outside of dance. It can be more than one. I know that your partner is a is an artist as well.
Yes, I was going to take his name.
Yeah.
So my partner's name is Vijay Kumar Armugan, and his name is Vijay Kumar, and lovingly I call him Vijay. So in India, when you get married, you take the husband's surname, but the culture that he comes from, the partners take the husband's name. And I found that so romantic. I found that so romantic. Just two names together forever. So I took his name quickly. So it's Dipika Vijay because of that. He is an incredible artist, incredible, beautiful, patient, and he claims that he's a feminist because he knows women are stronger, and he's a beautiful human being and a partner and man. And he is big time into Indian mythology. So all his art is from and about Indian mythology. We grow up on stories from our grandmoms, nighttime stories. And so he has grown up on Indian mythological stories. So all his art is from there. And when he makes goddesses, oh, it's just it's just heart-stoppingly beautiful. It's so stunning. And I told him actually that, if I'd seen goddesses like these in my childhood, I would have been such a religious person, which I'm not right now. But I love his art. So his art is the penultimate, like my perception of the best woman, the sacred woman, the most beautiful, adorned like an actual goddess should be, and the energy, and it's just beautiful. His art, couple of his pieces are absolute favorites of mine.
Yeah. I can confirm that because I remember that when we met at the OD, Deepika and I we met at the Orchidase Dance Intensive in Lisbon, that was made by the Orchidase crew, and she brought little cards. I remember you brought little cards from your partner, and you gave them to some people, and you gave me one card that I had for years, and I don't know
Mm.
where it is now because
Oh.
I moved, but it was the goddess Radha. And she was
Yeah.
really like, she was sitting there and she was so spicy and beautiful and beautifully adorned.
Yeah.
I
I
looked,
always bring along his artworks on my international trips because that's the best thing I can, small little token of affection that I can give to dancers that I really like. So I give them to dancers that I really admire and like, and I'm always like, you deserve these beautiful things, please.
yes. And then I actually started reading about Radha and about this goddess. And, I think that I agree that the word is maybe overused, but I still use a lot of that. And I think it's a good archetype for women to, um,
Yes, I understand your perspective. I think your using is a very, I wouldn't use the term valid, but it makes sense. It has a
mhm.
stronger story behind it when you said, you looked at Indian statues and how you felt the sensuality, sexuality, and the beauty of it. So I think that depicts it for me as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
And now,
sorry. Carry
yeah,
on, please. I'd
like
love to
the
hear from you.
like the big archetype, as the goddess, because every culture, like before patriarchy came, they basically had goddesses. And when we
Yes.
tie this to feminism, is like if you look at these goddesses, they were pretty much badass and very free, and some of them
Oh.
would fight. In Brazil, we have a whole pantheon of goddesses that are black. Actually, they have dark skin, some of them have white skin, and I just the essence of all of them is what I really love about studying there. I still have to study
Mm.
Amba though. You told me about Amba last time.
I will share some links with you, some beautiful.
Yes. Um, so about the future, last time I asked you what does the future of dance look like to you, and I love your answer because you said that you can see how this dance style, tribal fusion, truly what it also truly means to me is tribal fusion is the fusion of
Mm.
different cultural influences while respecting
Yes.
the source comes from. So you said that you would like to see, more Japanese style or Chinese style or, people like from Switzerland. I'm here. I'm trying to, look at that. They all have cultures, but I have to put it like in a form that I
Mm.
find aesthetically pleasing enough, but I think it's possible to do that with
Of
any
course.
form. Some is easier, some are not.
A very
Um,
challenging.
yeah, because here they do the yodel thing, the yodelariti, all of that.
Wow, yodeling. Amazing. Imagine singing and dancing. We already play instruments in dance, So
Uh,
there's no harm in adding voice in dancing as well, spoken poetry, and I think
yeah.
it would be very incredible, actually.
Yeah, I think there is these girls that I mentioned in the first part that I learned Bharatanatyam, that I did a few Bharatanatyam classes. I didn't learn it, like I'm not a Bharatanatyam dancer, but I went there because I come from tribal fusion, to study with girls from India that live here. Their name is Kavinatyam, and they did a performance that was with Maya Angelou. So it was the poetry
Hmm.
of Maya Angelou with Bharatanatyam dance, and I thought it was really beautiful.
Ooh,
But I'm not into vocal things
can't even
myself,
imagine how beautiful it would.
although I
Yeah.
love it. I'm more into the non-verbal sort of arts like like tattoos and all that stuff. But anyways,
Okay.
the next question is, what do you hope future generations keep alive with all the AI and technology and stuff?
See, the digital world is never going to stop. It's it's only going to proceed further and forward from here. I hope humans in in general can preserve art, movement, and music. Like these things are very sacred. Storytelling and
Hmm.
uh, you know from Adams and from whenever like people passed on lessons and knowledge through words, through stories, through theater, through a little bit of drama, and then a little bit of entertainment factor came into drama and movement started. But now we have beautiful sections and other parts of movement, which is the healing part, the community part. And I think the tribal also started in the beginning because it truly meant like just a tribe of women, group of women, the
Hmm.
actual or one of the meanings of the words. It's so beautiful. When I got into this the dance form, I totally loved it. And for many years, for a few years in the beginning, I absolutely thought it was for a bunch of women, like women who bond together, they make a tribe, and that's why it's called tribal fusion.
Hmm.
So, coming back to the answer, uh, I think art, by art I mean drawing and physical work of any kind, art, movement, music. Yes, please, all of these. I hope this goes forward in all ways, all possible. I think it will. It will.
It will, it will. It's just art, music, and movement. Yeah, those are. Oh, okay, getting a notice here. Those are the things like you coming from India. I think that India as a culture is coming from the most complete performance arts, which is, you have in the classical
Yes.
dances, you have the theatrical, it's very theatrical with
Yes.
music, like
Yes.
live music. Usually, no, they were playing
Yes.
live. Now
Yes.
you put
Yes.
a CD or an MP3 or whatever. So theatricality, music, the the
Hmm.
makeup, of course, and then
Oh,
your
yeah.
costume. So these are
Yeah.
like all elements that you want to have in a performance, and I think keeping this alive um, should be something to look into it. And also the question, it's not a question from here, but how is this replaceable? I think that's something that you do with your soul is not replaceable by a machine. But this is a question that,
I agree. I agree. Movement, see, all the things that we have discussed today, movement for when you ask 10 people, what does movement do to you? What does it mean to you? It's so personal, and that personal feeling cannot, like you said, personal feeling cannot come through something. It can come only through your physicality, through your mind, through your feelings. And that can't be replaced by a body which is outside yours, let alone technology. It's
mhm.
just not possible. What?
Yeah, true. But we will see what will come. I have a
Yeah.
positive outlook on the future. Um,
Yes, me too. Me too.
yeah.
100%. I'm very positive. And I have I had a thought after our first conversation that, because people are pointing out so much that why tribal and this and that, maybe you should also um, bring in people who actually were those beautiful women who gave it this name. Maybe they have a different perspective. Maybe
Oh,
there
I
were
wrote
no
them.
internet times. They gathered, yeah, they gathered things with a lot of difficulty at that point, and their ideal was something else. And it would be very nice to see their perspective if they have shared it somewhere. Not that I've heard it, or so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No.
it'll be nice to know what the basic idea was instead of just backtracking and changing names and
Mhm.
being not saying anything and not just openly having a conversation. Like you said, beautifully use this word harmoniously.
Yes.
So just letting your perspective be there and then let everyone decide on their own.
Mhm.
That would be really cool.
No, I would think that would be wonderful because as you said, and as I think we all looked for that information online, like is there a video, is there an interview? I watched all the interviews that they have. There is no like a podcasting or something on this topic. I've wrote some of these women. I would
Yes,
love
they're
to talk to
alive. Everyone is beautiful and dancing strong. I'm sure I would
I
love
would
to hear them.
I would love to talk to Rachel Bryce, for example, which is one of my favorite, and I think one of the favorite. Well, Carolina Nericcio has said things about it. I will reach to a few out, but I reached out to a lot of people, and I'm very happy that you answered, and some other girls answered, but a lot of people just they did not answer. I reached out to them, and they
Yes, it is a very tricky subject because as soon as you say these words, tribal, and as soon as you say these words, appropriation, there is a very big chance of you being attacked yourself. And then your bread and butter is at stake, and then your reputation built over years, the legacy is at stake. So a lot of people choose not to get into it, which is very understandable. But it's nice to just say it, have a conversation, just
yeah.
let people
Well,
decide for themselves.
what I hope is that, I will then maybe, I think that asking someone a question once is enough. I also do think that I deserve an answer. So if you do, in German, we say, keine Antwort ist auch eine Antwort, which means that no answer is also an answer. So, whether you
No,
answer
no,
or you don't,
sometimes,
you're
yeah,
answering.
sometimes
But
it's.
what I hope is
I hear
that
you. I hear
from
you.
these podcasts, I can send them or that they will in some way go around and people will actually understand that I'm not here to provoke or to point fingers at anyone, but to have a real
Yes, it's
educated
just shedding a
conversation.
light.
Yeah.
Yes, shedding a light. And sometimes, it's the timeline. You are doing this podcast in this year, in these months.
Mm.
Maybe the timeline is a little different for other people. So, hoping to work with similar timelines is a very tough thing for humans. But I am hoping a lot from your beautiful podcast. And I love the name. It's just
Yeah.
past and future. It's just beautiful. Absolutely
I,
beautiful.
I was thinking about calling, well, anyways, I read this, but who would you like me to interview? Who would you like to hear from?
Who would I? People who have, dropped a few people who have dropped the name tribal from their vocabulary, and a few people who still use it. So hear both sides of the stories, and and also in my style, I would like belly dance superstars, some of them, um,
Belly Dance
and some
Superstars.
top name
Yeah.
belly dance superstars, and the practicing current generation after the belly dance superstars, their perspectives.
Hmm.
Um, some of them have dropped it, some of them have retained it. So just it could be one, just just one line of some some ideas, some perspective. It'd be lovely to know.
Yeah, it would. I will reach out to them, some of them again. Also, like the legacy of the, I mean, Jamila Salimpur not alive anymore, but they have this school. You mean in the US?
Salinpur
Yeah, this.
in the US, yeah.
Hmm.
See, the whole thing started there. Tribal word started there.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, what I'm actually doing is the opposite, you know, instead of like, I mean, it's not like I didn't ask them. I asked them, I got no answer. But what I'm doing then is
it's
going to people who
perfect.
actually have actually come from tribal in communities or countries where tr the word tribal means something, and they have contact
Something.
with these
Mm.
tribal tribes. And I
I
think
think
it's
it's a
a
beautiful
beautiful
approach.
like
Mm.
cycle.
Yes, like going from a side, like a sideways approach. I think it's really nice to show the gravitas of the word, what it beautifully means, and then also have perhaps hear from people who were staunchly against it. I think that would also
Oh,
show.
that is coming.
Yes.
That is coming
Yeah.
because I the next my one of my guests that is coming here is Jolene Andrade. I love her. She's a Brazilian dancer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's
She's a
one of the
beautiful
biggest
human.
names.
I've
And
also met her. Yeah.
nice. And she's from Salvador, from Bahia, from the state where, you know, also my mom lives and where my relation to that country is very much Bahia, is a very magical place. And she wrote an essay, just like I wrote an essay too, but she wrote an essay because she studied dance in the university. I'm a non-institutional artist, but I wrote her essay, and it was so interesting because she pointed out many different things, and she wrote that essay in 2011, and she talked about things that are
Wow.
very, very current right now, and she's not using the
Mm.
word tribal in her work anymore. So th those conversations are coming, and I'm so
I'm
excited.
excited. I'm truly excited to listen to her. It's incredible.
But I will do it in Portuguese. But I think that there is an option up there. There's like a little CC in the right corner, right top corner of the video,
Yeah, yeah.
where people can click on, and then they have um, subtitles, because I'm trying to interview everyone in their native language
Translation.
if I speak it. Yes.
So cool.
Oh, okay. I think we have a little bit left, but what is something ancient that you think humanity should carry into the future? I think we have two minutes. Something ancient aside from your coal.
Something ancient that I want. Something ancient. I think uh, something ancient that I would want to carry it into the future. I
Yeah,
think
or
the
that you want humanity
some
to carry into the future.
uh, I
You,
think I just answered that. Uh, art,
art movement,
movement, and,
and music.
and music. Yes, yes,
It would be that nice.
yes,
For
absolutely.
for me, it's the breath. I want humanity to carry on the power of the breath and the power of, you know, how it opens your antennas.
Oh, that's
Yes.
beautiful.
So finally, we close. Thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you, Adriatica.
That
Thank
was
you.
amazing. I'm so glad,
Thank
and we will
you.
have part